Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Good morning. It's Tuesday? I don't even really know. So I've pretty much gotten rid of all my big projects that I need to accomplish, and I'm only left with just a few things. I've got this old Toro push mower deck that's self-propelled, but it looks like the propulsion's all locked up, you know. And I was going to put one of 2 or 3 engines that I have still left outstanding that I was going to put on there and build a push mower out of those things. But honestly, it's one of those days where I just don't want to, you know what I mean? Dealing with front self-propulsion is always a thorn in my side. I just don't like messing with the transmissions and stuff, you know. So I looked in my pile of stuff that I need to do. And as you guys remember, this is my Honda GX160 a horizontal shaft engine that came off of my asphalt and paving guy, Walter from Surra Brothers. This was off of his compactor, his plate compactor or tamper. As you guys know from a previous episode, I swapped it out with a Predator 212cc engine, 6.5 horsepower from Harbor Freight Tools, that he bought for $99. As far as I know, he probably hasn't used it much since, you know, I gave it back to him, but it runs great, you know. This engine runs. It starts usually on the first pull. It just smokes crazy, you know. So I'm thinking that the piston and the cylinder wall is all scored. Therefore, a lot of oil is getting through the rings and causes it to smoke a lot. So if that's the problem, then I'm just going to strip this for its parts. This is a genuine Honda engine, so recoil starter, gas tank, carburetor, all this stuff is worth money, you know. If the crankshaft itself is not damaged or anything like that, connecting rods, all that stuff I can sell, you know, make a little bit of money off of it. And a way to get it out of my garage, you know. I'm not going to just throw it out. It runs, you know. I'm going to start it up right now. I haven't touched this since I took it off of the tamper machine. And we're going to see if it smokes like crazy. Okay? Max. Fuel. Choke. Think it'll start? First pull. Good. Smoking already. Oh, you know what? Duh. On-off switch is good. nevertheless, it smokes crazy, you know. It's a shame to have to take that apart to piece it out, you know. It still runs pretty well too. It just smokes like crazy, you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna have to air out my garage. It's just all smoky. As you can see, today's a lousy day. We were supposed to get snow, is what they said. But of course, I don't have much confidence in my weatherman. He's always wrong. Always. And it's not even that cold today. So for them to say we're going to get snow is retarded. Got a little fan going on. Anyway, as you guys know, I put a Predator 212cc engine in it. I believe Predators used to be made by Lifan, L-I-F-A-N. They used to make the Greyhound engines too. Now the Predators, I believe, are made by Longsin. There was also a time where people used to use the Rato engines made by Chongqing or something like that. Anyway, so Lifan, Rato by Chongqing, and Longsin are the makers of the Predator engines. They're exact clones to the Honda GX engines. So I'm going to get ready to take this apart. As you can see, most of the oil is coming from the exhaust area. The wet oil is coming right out of there, the exhaust port. You know, so I'm going to take that part off first. Hey, who knows, right? Maybe maybe an exhaust port, the valve, maybe that's bad, and maybe it just needs something, you know. I'll take that part apart first, and so we could actually see what's up. So I've set it up over here nice and close. I'm going to put on the time-lapse so that you can see me taking it off in quick time. So as you guys saw, it was pretty easy to take apart. I had a little bit of trouble getting the sun cover off because it was like really sealed well on the bearings. The oil seal for the crankshaft sealed really well. So this is a good sump cover. We sell this too. Look, the gasket's even in good condition, you know. There's a ball bearing that holds the crankshaft in there. This ought to fetch some good money. Ooh, I almost dropped it. Sump cover. Okay, so here's the piston. Why it smokes? Well, when I was taking this out, things was getting caught. So I'm thinking this oil ring here. There's two oil rings, right? The top one seems extremely loose, you know? I guess if it's compacted in there, it's okay, but I mean, I'm having trouble just getting it in there, you know what I mean? So, I think why it smokes is because maybe one of the rings. There's no scoring on the piston at all. Even the cylinder wall is very good. Smooth. It's a shame, really a shame. But I think just maybe one of the rings I think it just needs new rings is what it is. Because this is a wobbly piston. You know, when I put it in there, you can use your fingers and you can wobble it a little bit like that. So I think it's a rings. So if you just get new rings, I think it'll work. But that's, you know, still a lot of work, you know. I've already taken it apart. I'm just going to sell it for parts. I'm going to get more money for it on parts than buying another used engine or something like that, you know, or getting rings and replacing it. You know, it's a lot of work. Z4M is what it says on this piston. It's a good piston. I'm going to sell this piston. I'm going to tell them may need new rings, you know. Here's the camshaft. Good condition. This is how the compression release works. Very precise. Sell the camshaft. Here's the crankshaft. Also in very good condition. Journals are good. Gonna clean this up a little bit, wipe it all down. Gear's good too. Nice and sharp and crisp. No nicks or anything like that. Like I said, this, you guys saw, this engine just starts up, you know, no problem. Just smokes a lot. So I think it's the rings. That's all it was, rings. Crankshaft will get some good money too, fellas. Because the flywheels always go for good money. Tecumseh's, Briggs, Kohlers, they all go for good money. And just imagine how much this would cost, you know, to get a genuine OEM Honda flywheel off a GX160 engine, you know. Get good money for this too. That's what I'm saying. This thing is worth more money than it is together. Muffler, we won't get too much money. It's a little beat up, you know, a little old looking. But if it works, you know. Somebody may need it somewhere. A working Honda GX160 magneto, ignition coil, armature, whatever you want to call it. I get at least $20, $25 OEM. There's gaskets. The head gasket is made out of metal, and so it won't. You can reuse them. It won't go bad. Here it is on top of the tins. It has two aluminum push rods. Both intake and exhaust are aluminum. It's a little odd. OEM Honda carb. Oh, Jesus! It was an OEM Honda carb. It's just this arm that fell off. Yeah. Okay. It's just the this thing that fell off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, OEM Honda carburetor. Maybe $30. I don't know if anybody wants it though. You know why? Because most people just buy the copies. Valve cover. Good condition heads. with the bolts. I'm going to sell them with the bolts because most people, like me, when you buy something, you're like, and you guys know, it's difficult to find these Honda bolts, you know? So when you sell them with the bolts, they're like, ooh, it comes with the bolts? That's cool. I don't have to go look for bolts, you know? Air filter base. I'm going to put it all together along with the air filter cover as well as the air filter and the bolts as one assembly. That's one option. Throttle lever. And authentic Honda recoil starter with the engine cover shut-off switch. Cha-ching! Yep, I'll definitely get over $100 if I sell all this stuff. No doubt about it. And the last piece here is a good condition Honda GX160 short block with pristine walls. I wouldn't say pristine. There is, I don't know, some, but not a lot. A little bit of wear. Very minuscule. This black thing is the is connected to a wire that comes outside. This goes to the throttle linkage. Need that. Where is that? Where are you hiding? Anyway, it was the oh, here it is. This is that wire is connected to this. This is the low fuel sensor. Low fuel sensor. Connect that wire. It goes inside here. Detects the amount of Earl that's in there. I don't know how I should sell this. Should I sell this alone or along with the recoil starter? Because it's all one harness, you know. Probably get more money for that recoil starter that way. So that's it. I'm gonna clean up some of the parts here, take some pictures, list it on eBay. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know, I do quite a few teardown videos, and it's kind of interesting to see what's inside, you know, without actually having to do it. Just watch Henry at Mowers and Blowers. He has a whole bunch of teardown videos on stuff he has. This way you can see exactly how it works and what the parts look like and how it fits in, how it's removed, you know. Keep the Honda bolts and stuff, bolts, screws, nuts, because they're all millimeters, and if you mix them up with your other bin of bolts and nuts, it's really tough to find it, you know what I mean? I know that the top of the nut or bolt has like a big C that's around it. You can kind of tell that it's a Honda part when you can see the C on there. You know. You guys see that? Like a C, you know? Anyway. But I'm gonna probably just sell all this stuff with bolts with it, so it's more enticing when people don't have to go look for them to put it on. They know it's right there, you know. But so I was getting some advice from people who know about the Dynaglow 10,000 BTU kerosene space heater. Before, because I don't know anything about this, remember, I just got this, right? It looked like flames were coming out the top, and they said to lower the wick, and I didn't know how to do that, but it's only this one knob. I thought there might have been another adjustment, but I know it doesn't seem like it, but you know, you can turn it, right, and it kind of adjusts within clicks, you know? Like if I do this, you can see the blue is kind of coming out the top. If I just turn it a little bit, the blue doesn't come over the top, you know? I was having like yellow flames coming over the top, which is too high, you know? So this works great, you know, really good. Very warm, I love it. And you were right. I don't really smell that many fumes now. Before, when the flames were going over the top, peeking over the top, I could still smell some kerosene, some odor, a little bit of odor of fuel, you know. But now that I have it adjusted just perfect, it's just like a standalone heater, you know. There's no wires or anything like that. It's just a box of heat that's coming out. It's great for the garage. I would totally recommend it. It's only like 130 bucks, you know, 140 bucks. It's nice. One day I will, you know, close the garage or something. Maybe when it's really, really cold, I'll do that. But thanks a lot for joining me, fellas. This has been an episode of me taking apart, complete teardown of a Honda GX160 that smokes a lot. My conclusion and assessment of why it smokes, I think it's the piston rings. It needs to be replaced because it was wobbly, allowing Earl to get through the rings into the exhaust, which is the reason why it smokes. I think it's a pretty good assessment. I think I'm pretty much right. Cylinder wall is pristine. Like I said, if it's just the rings, theoretically I can just go buy some rings, put them on, put the whole thing down thing together, and I'll have a good GX160 horizontal shaft engine. But honestly, you guys know I don't really need horizontal shaft engines too much, you know. This and that Predator was the only project that I had that I really dealt with that. I guess you could put it on a snowblower engine, you know what I mean? But, you know, honestly, at $99 for the Predator 212 6.5 horsepower, why go through all this trouble? 99 bucks, you got a brand new engine, just shove it on, you know, easy peasy. So, but I know that these parts will go for some money because some nut out there in America or wherever, I only ship to America because international shipping is insane. Some nut in America is going to need that cover, that flywheel, that crankshaft, that connecting rod. Connecting rod, crankshaft, camshaft, those things are all very valuable for people who want to rebuild their Honda engine, you know, along with the accompaniments, you know, the heads, the valve covers. The block itself could be trashed from a blown engine, and you need a short block. Perfect. Anyway, thanks for following me along. I'll see you fellas next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day.
Hey Henry, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.